So we're going to, basically everything that's in this trailer is from the last video, which is the insane unit. And when we're doing the shows, we basically get a lot of people that want to watch just the best part. So we basically focus on just doing kind of like the best items we find, and we talk a little bit about it, and we move on to the next thing. So we basically wanted to start doing live shows where we actually go through the actual items, because a lot of people like to see in reality how much you actually have gotten. And so the best way to do it is to basically have a separate show where we basically go through all the things, we talk about what we find, we give it a value, and we kind of go back and, you know, figure out what we actually made off of the unit. So without further ado, I don't want to do too much talking, so let's start getting some stuff out. So this particular one looks like it's going to be clothes and stuff along those lines. So that's going to be trash because nobody wants to use pillow. In here, we've got kids' clothes. Let's see if it's a name brand. Carter's. Does anybody know what Carter's is? So this unit had a lot of clothes. You know, there was literally all types of clothes. We have found Levi's. We have found, you know, if you can name the brand, we probably found a pair of it. And so, khakis. So what I'm doing is I'm going to be separating. So in here, we're going to have the donations, things that we're basically going to be giving away. We work with a lot of different companies in the area, and so we donate a lot of the clothes. Some kind of monkey. It's a little purse too. Let's see if there's anything in the purse. Money. So put that to the side. And then some masks. So the thing about storage units is that we do a lot of different things. I mean, we find a wide variety. Like there's individuals that do thrifting. There's individuals that, you know, go to Walmart, buy clearances. And so they have a little bit more control of their inventory. For us, it's more, you find basically a wide array of different types of things. Like these right here, these are Tommy Hilfiger pants. So, you know, little boys, but that's something that we can basically sell and, you know, turn around a profit on the unit. But with storage units, you have a lot of items that you just don't want or that there's too much of. And so we don't basically keep everything. We would basically not have enough room. I know some people have stores and some people have different things that they use. But for our particular scenario, we kind of keep the big items, and then everything after that, we donate, or, you know, we throw it in a flea market or a garage sale. So it kind of gives us just a general idea. You know, you might find 50 things and you might end up keeping maybe 5 of them. But with those 5 things, we end up making a higher profit because our cost of goods is going to be a lot smaller than somebody who is going out and sourcing individual pieces. So if you go to like a thrift shop, you might purchase a pair of pants and they might cost you $4 or $5. Our cost of goods, if you look at this entire trailer, was $470 or $670. And at the end of the day, we might find a couple hundred items, and so our cost of goods are going to be a lot lower, so we can sell them a lot higher and make a bigger profit. So, you know, it's kind of a trade-off, but it's like everything else, you know. And now keep in mind, this is the first live feed, so it's something a learning process, you know. So that was the first bag. Let's go for number 2. This one here feels like shoes. So let's see what kind of shoes we find. First and foremost, look at those. Those are wild. And they come with earrings too. So you could throw these shoes basically in like a flea market or something along those lines, get about $5 for them. In here we have a pair of filas. They're actually in pretty decent shape. If you look at the backs, they still have all of the threading. So these are going to be $20 pretty much all day long. There is some Vans. It's pretty nice. These are going to be size 10s. So that's a $20 bill pretty much all day long. We've got some Nikes. These are Nike Airs. They are size, I don't know, but ultimately $20 bill. Then we've got some Filas. Again, another $20 bill. So there's one bag, you basically have about $100 worth of stuff. Now these are Nike. So when you take into account that we paid $670 for the unit and you made $100 on a single bag, it's literally insane. Now, I do have a video on my channel if you want to do this yourself. I mean, I tell people all the time, if you want to buy storage units and actually sell them and actually make some money for yourself, you know, I walk you through the entire process. You can find that on our library. These are Vans, once again. It's a $20 bill. So ultimately 20, 40, 60, 80, 120 on a single bag. So we'll put them over here and we'll come on to the next one. What else we got? I don't want to get beat up by bags. So this one here is also going to be shoes. These are going to be women's shoes. And there's basically like a wide array of different types of shoes. Life Pride, I guess the word they're. These particular shoes, they're basically what we would throw into a flea market. And you can sell basically these pairs of shoes for anywhere from $2 to $5 each. So if you've got here maybe, I don't know, let's say 10 pairs of shoes at $5 a pop, you know, you've got yourself pretty much a profitable little bag. And like I said, there's all different types. You know, you've got low heel, you got high heels. You know, then you've got some shoes that look like this that are pretty much trash. So you have basically a wide array. The idea behind it is basically at the end of the day, you're working on like a mass inventory type of solution. So you're gonna buy, you know, we might get, I don't know, 50, 100, 200 pairs of shoes out of here. Even if you sold them at $2 a piece, that's $400. Some shoes are gonna go for 20, like the Nikes and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's just a numbers game. Spend low, sell big, make a big profit. We got another one here that fell. Let's see what we got in this one. This one looks like it's gonna be closed. Now keep in mind, usually I'd like to do boxes and things, but as you can see, it's pretty much bags, left and right, but we'll get there. So this right here still has the tags, so it's unused. It is a Studio EY, basically a dress, so $5 bill. Pretty nice little shirt here. It's a Ruby Road XL, a couple dollars. You know, so there's a lot of different types of clothes. Some of them are going to be name brand, some of them are not. You know, the trick is basically going through it, keeping the things that actually stick out, and then the other ones, give them up for donation. start doing this enough, you start to feel the threads, and the threads basically kind of stand out. This right here, it's kind of like a work dress. This one's probably $20, just because it's a work one. JM collection. That's a nice shirt. So the idea, like I said, behind it is we buy storage units, we go through them, we identify what to keep, what to sell, and we basically go from there. One of the items we found in the storage unit were the 150 quart coolers, the Coleman coolers. Those are sitting right off the side right here, and those are going to be amazing. Who remembers Rugrats? You remember that? That is awesome. All right, what else we got here? Same ship, different day. One of the things to look for when you're looking into shirts is right here on the actual sleeves. They're either going to be a double stitch or a single stitch. If they're double stitch, and that basically just means that there's two stitches side by side parallel, that means that it's a newer shirt. If they're single stitch, those are shirts that were probably made prior to the 90s or very early 90s, and those are usually going to be worth more money because they're higher quality. Now this one is a double stitch, but because of the content of the shirt, it's something that we'll definitely keep. World Series, girls fast pitch. It's pretty cool. It's the Babe Ruth. GS 115 motto. Those are pretty neat. McDonald's pants. Check this out. I wonder if we could sell that for something. I've never seen McDonald's pants. A Vans shirt. So that'll definitely have some value. I'd say at least $4 or $5. Is that a knockoff Michael Jordan? Any ideas? Because I've never actually seen that. It looks literally like a knockoff Michael Jordan. Alright, so we got our first donation bag. Big 32-gallon bag. Some bedding stuff. Full size, we'll donate that. You could probably sell those at the flea market, but try and see if I can get to a couple of boxes, see if I can reach them for you. What is this? Is this like a Hugh Hefner bag? Huh. Why not? How's it look? It's hot. Keep in mind that, as I mentioned before, this is the first stream, so what we're trying to basically do is see the best way to go through some of these things. You know, I don't want to bore some of the people because of some of the items that we're going through, but the idea behind it is to kind of learn and make ourselves better. I didn't want to actually bring stuff out and go through it prior to the video, because then I felt like it would be more staged. And so you got to take some of the bad and some of the long things with some of the good. So the bags are kind of like clothes, purses, and stuff like that. So bear with me. Once we get into the boxes, whether it's today or on Tuesday's stream, it might get a little more exciting. But with that being said, we are going to start doing these streams on Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursdays from 7:30 to at least 8:30. Try and go for an hour, depending on the equipment and material that we have. I'm also going to be bringing in some other resellers in the future and basically doing talks with them and talking about how to do this, how they do it, how we do it, how it's different. And the idea behind it is basically to get you guys to kind of see how it's done from our perspective, so that if you want to start doing it, you can basically implement it and start making some money on your own. So this here is one of the items that we found, just to do something a little different than a bag. And basically it looks like a, kind of like a playpen for kids. So I think these basically sell for anywhere from 40 to 80, 100 new. So let's say a $20 bill. Something else this unit had a lot of was luggage. There's all different kinds of luggages in here. Most of them are empty, but if you take these luggages to the flea market or you do a garage sale, you should be able to get at least $5 for each one, even if they're beat up or if they've got something broken or whatever. Because a lot of people like to buy them. Once you put them in through the check-in at the airport, half of your bags end up getting broken anyway. So a lot of people like to use bags that are used if they're taking a trip, so that it doesn't damage their good bags. So I find that you get at least $5, $10 for each one, depending on the bag. All right, so it looks like we got more shoes coming. So these are basically new shoes. They still have the actual plastic. So these are shoes that you could literally sell for $5, $10. You just put them in the flea market, put them on the table. People go through them and they'll pick them up fairly easy. The trick is basically to find your pairs and make sure that you have 2 of each. Got another one here. This one is still protected, just so you can see. So that's basically what the shoe looks like. The brand on this one is Guess, as you can see right there. And they're literally brand new, unused. So any ideas on a comp? I'm figuring maybe 40, $50, just depending, because it's a Guess shoe. Some of these shoes tend to get expensive. Here's the other pair for it. Got a pair of Michelle's. These are pretty nice. Can anybody tell me what brand that is? 'Cause I can't read that. Any ideas? Pretty nice little pair of shoes. So yeah, I mean, it's literally just all women's shoes. go through the rest of them after the video, put them off to the side. Let's see what we got here. Hi, Cindy. Thanks for joining. See what else we got in here. Whole bunch of kids' clothes. Wow, a lot of clothes. This unit was crazy, and I mean, one of the items that we found in the unit, if you've seen the video, that Bill and I still can't believe is the toothpaste. I mean, the soap was crazy. We found over 100 bars of soap, I would say, probably closer to 200. But we found a 55-gallon drum, plastic drum, completely packed of toothpaste. It was crazy. I don't think we'd laughed so much as we did on the drive home. This is just going to be all clothes, not really anything to write home about, but this is going to be kids' clothes. Kids' clothes usually tends to sell a lot better than adult clothes, especially in the flea market, since they outgrow it so quickly. A lot of people like to buy it cheap, let them get through it, destroy it, throw it away, or donate it when they're done, so they tend to spend a little bit less. So clothes actually goes really, really well and really, really quick in a garage sale or flea market. More bedding stuff. All right, let's see what this one's got. Some kind of bag, book bag. Check this out. Brand new flip-flops. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 pairs of brand new flip-flops. Even if you sell them at $1 a pop, that's a $12 bag. Every single little bit keeps adding up and brings you into the profit lane. The bag itself is just a regular standard backpack, but again, it's in really good condition and definitely something that we can throw at the flea market or the garage sale and get at least $1 or $2. Then we've got this. I'm going to guess that this is a sleeping bag. Is that Hardee's? Looks like Hardee's. Got another backpack. Durant Cougars, but it's really, really stained. So store it away. Saks Fifth Avenue pants. So there's some major brands that you always want to keep an eye out for. Saks Fifth Avenue, as we all know, is a really expensive brand. So clothes and stuff that's made by them, even though it might not be a name brand like Polo or, you know, because it brings their brand, it's something that you definitely want to keep an eye on. Adidas, a couple dollars, you can throw that. So clothing, just to kind of walk you through. So you've got multiple platforms that you can basically sell online. One second. a little bit better light. So you got a couple of different platforms that you can sell online. So I do the majority of my sales on eBay. I love eBay. I sell all kinds of stuff. But clothing, if you want to sell it online, it's either hit or miss. You've got people like Dixon, um, you know, he basically sells, all he sells is clothes. And he does that on eBay and he does amazing. Me, I tend to sell one thing here, one thing there, and half the time it takes too long. So what I use as a selling platform instead of eBay for clothes is Poshmark. Poshmark clothes go really, really quick, especially if they're name brand. I tend to find that Fox sells really well on there. Um, things like Adidas, things like Nike, you know, the newer, hipper type of clothes tends to go really, really quick. But you also sell things like, you know, um, American Postal, I think it's called, Aeropostale, Abercrombie and Fitch, you know, Hollister, things along those lines also tend to do really, really well on that platform. So I tend to basically post most of my clothes on Poshmark. Now, some people do cross postings and they'll use something like this perfectly to post their stuff and basically get everything out there. But at the end of the day, it just depends on your type of selling and how you like to sell. Now, if you have questions or, you know, you're looking into getting into this, feel free to reach out. You know, I literally answer all the messages. I talk to whoever wants to know anything about reselling or storage lockers or things along those lines. You know, a lot of people have questions as to how to start, where to bid, how to get a locker, do I have to go in person? And I answered a lot of those things in that video, but I'm always here if you have questions. A love shirt. So, I mean, there's a lot of different things on here. Most of this stuff is just going to be donations. So, I'm not going to spend too much time on it. The Adidas, however, coming with me. Once I get through all this clothes, I can start to get to the fun stuff. Another pair of Adidas shorts. Looks like donation box. Alrighty, I think these are gonna be stuffies. It's a big bag. So let's see how we do this. Alright, first things first. Got this one boy right here. With teddy bears, there's a lot of different ways of finding expensive ones. I actually tend to sell them fairly well, even if they're like cheap ones or whatever. But there's some that literally go for thousands. Check that one out. Florida State. Battery's dead. Some kind of little mouse. Thai frog. Thai beanie baby. It's called Speckles. Any ideas? So we've got Thai fluffies. I don't know if you've seen these before. This one's called Munches. And it's from, let's see if it says a year. I don't see a year. Nope, no year, but it's pretty neat. But anyways, this whole entire bag is all stuffies. Let me make some. Gonna be closed, but I felt some other stuff there. Now this goes. Getting a workout. TJ Maxx, Michael Kors. So definitely brand name, brand new. At least $1 or $2. Some hats. Brooklyn Express. Size is large. Whoa. Got a little giraffe too. So these are Lion Dynasty. Anybody heard of that brand? I'll keep it to look it up, see more or less what we can find on it. Double stitch. So clothes is going to be mostly donations. Just going to throw them to the side, and when we're done, I get them nicely packaged and dropped off the donations. These here look like brand new suits. Most of these we'll be able to keep and sell. If you look, it's a woman's suit. Size is going to be a 16 wide. I think that's what the W is for. But you can at least get $5–10 for that. Some other things in here. Just looks like basically all just women's suits, what they look like. So I'll definitely go through those a little bit more. Like I said, don't want to bore you. Let's go through this one. first we got some headphones. Billboard headphones. Some kind of backpack. Herschel. Looks like a pretty nice little bag. Maybe like a maternity bag. Now, I just bought one like this for camera equipment. Literally almost the same size, and I paid 25 bucks on Facebook Marketplace. Dylan George pants. Never heard of them. Bras are something that do really, really well at the flea markets. Most people would be like, why would you want to buy a dirty old bra? First of all, we wash them, but ultimately they do really, really well. People pick up used bras or secondhand bras literally all the time, and they actually sell like they come off the shelves. Some dicky pants, those also do fairly well. So our first box, this is a HH Heritage Home. Looks like multiple candle cups or glasses, vases. So it's literally brand new. They're kind of stacked one inside of the other, but you can see these types of things, once again, they sell fairly well at flea markets. It tends to go for, you know, 5-10 bucks, but they're literally brand new. So one of those things that we continue to add to the what we call the death pile. So we got another box here. I'm trying to change it up a little bit. So for this one, I'll show you on the camera. Kind of showed this one in the video, but ultimately, if you can see, so it looks like it's brand new, and it has basically shampoo, body wash, and lotions, and a body spray. So they're literally brand new. I know that the brand, I think when I looked up the fragrances on eBay, they went for like 17 and change. So this here you could easily get about $10-15 for. This box has 6 of them, and I think there's like 2 or 3 other boxes that also have 6. So what you can do is basically just stack them all out. People will buy them, and you know, you make a profit. Now, keeping in mind the items that we've already gone through, and a couple of the items that I know that I have in the trailer. As I mentioned, this whole entire unit was 670 bucks. There were some additional costs like fuel to go get it and the seller fees and stuff like that. So when it's all said and done, worst case scenario, let's say 800 bucks. I estimate that we're probably going to have somewhere around, let's say probably a couple hundred items to sell, if not more. So when you take $800 and you divide it by 200 bucks, you can kind of see that we're basically looking at about a $4 range or 40-cent range. Can't do math today. It's like I'm all over the place. But basically, the idea is most items are going to sell $5-10, and you're still making a profit. Items like the coolers, for example, that at the end of the day is going to end up selling for about $100 to $150 per cooler. So literally, your cost of goods are going to be a lot less than what you're actually going to make off of these units, and that's why they're enticing. Now, some of the bad things that people don't like about storage units, and I'll put it out there just to be completely transparent, you get a lot of trash, you get a lot of donations, you have a lot of additional work that you have to do to get these items to be able to resell. So it's not just all rainbows and butterflies. You are going to have some of the downsides to having storage units as opposed to just going to like Goodwill and buying a couple little things and reselling those. So it's easier if you're thrifting to have smaller inventory, but what I tend to find a lot of the times is that I might have 500 to 1,000 things on sale at any given moment, where a lot of the people that I know that just do thrifting are going to end up having basically, you know, 2, 3, 4 things that they're part of their death pile. Then they start to kind of like, where do I go next for things? So it's just at the end of the day, you know, do you have the room to store stuff? Can you afford to put a storage unit and kind of stuff your stuff up? Can you get a trailer to basically go through the items? So it's kind of like a give and take. It just depends on how you want to do it. Now, what I always tell everybody is if you are going to do storage units, or you even want to try it just to see how it is, buy a small one. Look for a 5x5, and that 5x5 is basically going to be, you know, a small enclosed space like this, and it's going to have basically a handful of things. So you might find 20, 30 items in it. Out of the 20 or 30 items, you might find that 10 of those items or 15 of those items are just trash. You're just going to throw them away. And that you can just throw in your home trash and you're done with it. When you have something like this, you can't just do that. You have to literally fill up a trailer, go to the dump, pay the dump fees. You know, there's a lot of other things. So scale yourself up and get yourself to the point where you can do a big unit. Now the difference is that on a small unit, you might spend $40, $50 on it, and you might make $100 to $200 in profit. If you can do that once a week, once every 2 weeks, you can basically, you know, augment your income, and you can add an additional, you know, a couple hundred to $1,000 a month just by doing this on your spare time. If you go with something larger like this, you're going to have more costs, but you can also turn that into more money. So it just boils down to what works for you. So this is definitely a good one. All right, let's go through a couple more and see what else we can find. Let's see if I can make a little path and climb up here. All right, let's see what's in this bag. So in here, we've got 2 brand new, unopened, and they're basically the little suction cup things you put in the shower to be able to help yourself in and out. They basically sell for $14 each, and they're brand new. So I can list them on eBay, sell them at like probably 14 or 13 or 12 if I do free shipping or if I do very light shipping. This doesn't weigh very much, so anything under a pound I could send this first class, and this will probably ship for like maybe $4 or $5. So if I list them at say 15 with free shipping, I'm going to make $10 profit off of each one. Some other things we find in here: a pair of shoes. I'm not entirely sure of the brand, Frankel something, but they're brand new. So definitely work for the flea market. You throw them out there, somebody out there will buy it. The rest of the stuff in this bag is just going to be brand new clothes. And when I say brand new, they still have the tags. This one is St. John's Bay, so it's not the best brand, but because they're brand new and still have the tags, you can definitely get at least a couple dollars. Bag, but it should be a fun one. First things first, we got hats. How's that look? They're pins and needles hats and mint. So those are like wallets. So bear with me. It's the weirdest hat I think I've ever seen. Pretty cool though. I was gonna put it on, but I'm all sweaty. So. Alright, first things first. Let's get closer. These types of things I like to show up close, make it a little bit easier. Let's move the light. You can see better. So, literally brand new purse. It is Michael Kors. See it right there. I don't know if you can. So, little baby Michael Kors purse. I don't know. What do you think? At least 50 bucks, 100 bucks? Jack George's. Never heard of them. But overall, still a really nice purse. At least get $5 at the flea market. This one is Ez Zone. Again, no name brand, but at least get $5. Cowboy hat. No idea on that one, so we'll donate that one. What brand is that? I know the light. Bear with me. Technical difficulties. There we go. Sorry about that. Anyways, it's Coach purse. How you know that they're real? There's the stamp for it. And as you can see, there's the serial number for it. So that's definitely a real Coach purse. That there, $50, $60, $100 all day long. We got some hats, TKO hats. I'm gonna have a whole bunch of hats for you out there. Florida hat. It's a really neat little purse. Check that out. No idea on the brand, but it feels really, really cool. Tampa. Here's another Coach purse. Serial numbered and everything. idea on the brand on this one. I mean, it's a pretty nice little purse. See if we can find a couple more purses. No idea on the brand of that one, but it's a pretty nice little purse. So that's the third Coach purse. Once again, we'll just check to make sure that it's real. Serial number and all. So far we found 3 Coach purses. Atlantic, whatever that is. Computer carrier bag. So this right here, Vera Bradley, I'm gonna assume. Yep, Vera Bradley. So these purses I sell on eBay all the time, anywhere between 20 and 40 bucks. Another purse. Trying to see if I see a brand. Not entirely sure, but I mean, it's a nice little purse. And it's quite spacious inside. Feels like a knockoff purse here. Just a beach bag. Alright, let's see if we have any more purses in here. A couple more. Mixed bag. And this one is a little Roberti or something along those lines. So I'm not sure, but I mean, 3 Coach purses I'm really happy with. Those are things that I can basically list. I usually sell them fairly quickly. If you look at just the items that we found today and nothing else, we're probably at least $500-600 worth of items. That would pay for the entire unit. And I literally have this entire trailer full still. Now, as I mentioned before, we're going to be doing these videos 3 times a week, partially so everybody can get to see what we're doing. You know, one of the things that we hear a lot when we do storage units is, you're planting stuff, that's not really there. Well, this literally, you saw me put it in the trailer, and now you get to see me pull it out of the trailer. Nothing's been edited, nothing's been added, nothing's been touched. The idea behind it is to show you that this could be and is something that basically can get you to start making some money too. Now, I'm not gonna ask you to send $19.99 and subscribe to something, and if you call in the next 30 minutes, I'm not gonna do that. The idea behind it is, we do this as a whole to kind of help out, and basically, if people are looking for a way to make a little extra money, be able to do this on a smaller scale to start off and see if they like it. I know lots of people that have, you know, left their jobs and doing this full time, and they're making 10 times what they were making before. Now, I'm not saying that you should do that. That's not my advice. try a small unit out if you want to do it. If you have questions, reach out. We're always here to help. But that's going to be pretty much it. I'm going to clean this up, get the stuff ready to take it over to the donation pile. I hope you had fun. It was fun for me. I'm going to learn and kind of see how this works. I want to basically get this to the point where we start to do this. And as I'm loading the stuff in the trailer, I know where to put the stuff for these videos mostly, so that we don't have to sit through 80 bags of clothes. I get that that's a little boring sometimes, but some people do like it. I mean, I like it, but that's pretty much it. So thanks for coming. Live video 1, we got it. See you soon.